going to a football game later because the Broncos are playing the Vikings, and I don't miss that ever. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Britt, and if you haven't subscribed yet, you probably should, because I talk about geeky things, and today we're going to talk about my feelings on Dino Fury so far. Now, upon filming this, we have seen all the episodes that have aired in the initial airing on Nickelodeon, and then 3 episodes were released on Netflix. When this goes out, they may be airing episodes again, so bear that in mind. But let's talk about my feelings on Dino Fury so far. So if you guys have been following my live streams whenever they did air a new episode, except for the 3 that they aired on Netflix, because it happened when I was on my break, because I have a puppy and nobody knew about him yet, and so I didn't want there to be a chance that you guys would hear him, you know, barking in the background like you might in this video, because he's not thrilled that he's in his crate right now because Mama's filming a video. But yeah, so if you've been following those live streams, you will know that I have been genuinely enjoying Dino Fury. Dino Fury is so far a pretty solid season. The storyline is pretty fun, the characters are engaging, and the acting is actually pretty good. I actually am really enjoying it. There are a few moments where I think that they're still just caught up in this kid TV show kind of situation, when they know the majority of fans that are watching it are my age-ish, in their late 20s, 30s, you know, late 20s, early mid 30s generally, possibly even a bit older than that. But yeah, I mean, I think that they sort of have a grasp on the fact that they have fans my age, because obviously the Lightning Collection is kind of a good indicator of that, as they have been mostly focusing on Mighty Morphin with the Lightning Collection, but also because of the fact that they're $20 toys. Now granted, I don't have children, so I don't know how much toys cost these days, but I don't think I would ever buy my child a $20 action figure. Moving on. So let's talk about each of the characters. So let's talk about Zeto. Zeto, the Red Power Ranger. I do like what they've done with his character. At first, his character felt a little stiff, a little awkward, but that has now evolved into him being more like Andros, where he's kind of this person from another planet, but he's trying to learn how to be on Earth and not stand out too much. They play with that a little bit in Space. They play with that a little bit with Zeto as well, which I really appreciate. I think that they could have gone a little bit further with that. I used to think that it was based on Russell's acting. I really don't think it is. I really do think it's the writing. The writing made him very stiff, because they've loosened that up over the episodes, and the acting hasn't changed. So being that he feels less stiff to me, he's loosened up a bit, that tells me that it was the writing more than anything. So I think that the writers were finally kind of getting their groove on with this particular season. So I think Zeto is so far a good Red Ranger. He's very interesting. If you guys remember when I placed all of the Red Rangers or leaders into specific categories of born to lead, or kind of in this innocent kind of place, or they were kind of jerks, or had a lot to learn in order to become a true hero, I would put Zeto in that innocence category. He's very wide-eyed of character, which I really appreciate. I really like when they take that character archetype and they kind of mature that character over the course of the season. Though my favorite archetype is the kind of jerk persona becoming a better person over the course of the season. But either way, they're both really good for character development, and I really like that. So let's talk about Ollie, the Blue Ranger. Ollie, I think, is a really fun character. He's very science driven, and he's really smart, but they didn't make him overly nerdy like they did specifically like with Billy. I feel like he's more like Ethan, where he's, yeah, smart, very science driven, but he's not like, you know, that stereotypical nerd kind of character. I really like his relationship with Amelia, which we'll talk about in a moment, but I think that he has such a fun kind of persona, kind of personality, and I've really enjoyed his character so far. I think the actor that plays him has been fantastic. I think that there has been very few moments where I go, ugh, don't like that. But I do think there's obviously more space for that actor to grow. You're always growing as an actor. You're never going to be a perfect actor. I mean, even Meryl Streep has room to grow, and I think she would agree with that. But you know, I don't know. I think that he's done really, really well. These actors all have great chemistry with one another. You can tell they're all really great friends, and that is really, really important. So Amelia, I would have to say, is probably my favorite character this season so far, which is very unlike me to have a female favorite character, and very unlike me for it to be the Pink Ranger. She would be the third Pink Ranger ever to be my favorite character in a season of Power Rangers, which, like I said, very unlike me in 28 seasons. 3 out of 28. But yeah, I think she's fun. She's very like me in a lot of ways. I wish they would play more with her ghost hunting needs. I know they've done it in a few episodes. They did it very heavily at the beginning with her kind of more spiritual approach, which of course kind of goes up against Ollie's more scientific approach, so they butt heads a lot where that's concerned, where he's very scientific and she's very spiritual. And you know, she believes in fortune tellers, she believes in ghosts and all these things, and Ollie just doesn't. Ollie wants to prove those things to be non-existent, and I think that that's just really kind of a cool kind of way to have those characters intertwined a bit better. And I just think that that's really fun. As somebody else who loves to believe in the supernatural, loves to believe in psychics and mediums and things like that, while I would never be taken advantage of, because I am smart enough to know that people who ask for money for those things are scam artists. But at the same time, I'm somebody who relates to that very, very heavily. So let's talk about Izzy. Izzy is a really great character. I like that they kind of took this idea that with the gender bending of a character from the Sentai being a male and being female in this season, that they really played with why she doesn't have a skirt. One of my favorite moments when they introduced that when they introduced these new Rangers in, was the fact that she's like, hold up, and tears off her skirt, because girl, same. I also relate to Izzy because I tend to be more on the masculine side of feminine. I don't have a lot of femininity to me. I like sports, I like playing sports, I like watching sports, clearly. The only time I wear makeup is for these videos. My hair is usually back in a ponytail or a braid, like it's usually not out and about like this. I don't like dresses or skirts, things like that. So it's really fun to have another character that's kind of like that. I like that she's really sporty. I like that she, but again, not stereotypically, I don't know how to put it, but like, she's not a stereotypical jock, maybe. Like, she still has some feminine qualities, which I really like. Because again, same. I am very much a tomboy, though I hate that terminology. Because just because you're not a feminine woman doesn't mean that you're a boy in any way, shape, or form. So I don't love that term. But being that I always have been more on the masculine side, it's always fun to see that kind of a character, because you don't get that a lot in Power Rangers. Even when the character isn't super girly, like Tarini or Kendrix, they're still very, very feminine. And somebody who would have loved to have seen that character archetype, I mean, even Aisha, or even like Tanya, who did play sports, you know, there was still a lot of femininity there. And it just, for me being a tomboy, that's I think why I related more to the male Rangers than I did the female Rangers, because that's who I am. I mean, I'm not a male, I'm a cisgender woman, so like, no. But at the same time, I related more to that mentality, that more masculine mentality. And so, I mean, we're talking from a very, you know, stereotypical, because genders are just social construct kind of terminology, but you know what I'm trying to say. I'm not a feminine woman. I'm definitely more on that masculine side, which is why I think it never was hard for me to understand gender as a social construct, because I never grew up wanting to be a pretty princess. I wanted to grow up and be a Power Ranger. And so it was, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, I've never wanted to be a Disney princess, even though I love Disney. I never wanted to be a Disney princess. So, you know, that's just kind of where I feel about Izzy, is that it's just a breath of fresh air to finally see a more masculine woman. I mean, we've definitely seen that in the past. Characters like Vita from Mystic Force, even Ronnie to an extent, but even Ronnie had some femininity there. It's really just a nice breath of fresh air, and something that I wish I had as a kid. Again, I think her actor, while I've not seen enough about her character yet to really get a good idea of what her actor is really capable of, I do think that her actor is definitely good. Again, all of these people are green. They have a lot more to learn, to grow into the actors they will one day become. But I think so far I haven't seen really too much bad with the Ranger actors. So then there's Javi. So Javi, the Black Power Ranger, again, I just haven't seen enough of him really, but I do like his character. He seems a little bit more vanilla, I would say, as far as the other characters are concerned, where all these other characters have very outward personalities, very easy to place personalities. You've got the tomboy, you've got the really supernatural girl, you've got the scientific boy, you've got the alien. But then you've got Javi, who I feel, like I said, is relatively vanilla. I don't feel like they really utilize his character as much as I would like them to. And so it is kind of a bummer, but I don't think that that makes him a bad character at all. That is definitely the writer's fault. That's definitely the producer's fault. You know, when you're writing for so many characters, sometimes it's hard to really give all of the characters true personalities that you can write to effectively. And so I understand the issue when it comes to that, but I do feel like he's probably the most vanilla character out of everybody so far. Now, we have not met the Gold Ranger yet, upon filming this. I don't know if that is the case upon this going up, but I don't have any say on who that person is if we've met him. So there you go. So let's talk about the things I don't like. I don't like our dynamic duo. You guys know how I feel about comedic duos, especially in Power Rangers. For the most part, they are terrible. There have been very few that have been great. Some of the greats have been, of course, Bulk and Skull. You can't top Bulk and Skull. Capri, and why can I never remember her name? Oh my god. You know, from Ninja Storm. Why do I always blank? Like, I remember it up until the point that I have to say it, and then it's just gone from my brain forever until I am not trying to think of it. Devin and Cassidy, for sure, were fantastic dynamic duo. But that's pretty much it that I can think of off the top of my head. This dynamic duo is just annoying. I mean, the robot situation, I just think that the robot thing, it was a nice tie back to Operation Overdrive. Like, it was great to tie back to that, though I have issues with that, kind of like my issues when it comes to Time Force and SPD, where SPD kind of throws off the entire timeline to an extent. But Jay Borg also kind of throws off that as well, because of the fact that, like, if you've seen Operation Overdrive, you know how realistic his robots can be. Let's just put it that way. And this one just is not. It's very cartoony. It's very just not realistic I mean, I know it's a real human being, so like, but you know, she's being robotic with the movements and things, and the way she speaks, the way that they alter her voice, things like that. So I know it's a real human, clearly, but I don't know, like, we're many years past Operation Overdrive, where Hartford has been making incredible robots, right? People who've seen Operation Overdrive. That's just something that throws me off as well. Like, I liked the callback, but at the same time I didn't appreciate it because I don't know, maybe she just bought a cheap robot, who knows. But I just don't like, I mean, I like that they don't put as much emphasis on those characters as much. They're just kind of there. They're not really there to do anything aside from just exist. So that makes it a little bit better to an extent. And they're not focused on, which I'm very happy about. But at the same time, it's just dumb. I just don't like it. It's just not something that I appreciate at all within the Power Rangers universe. So if those were to go away, I would be a happier person. Let's just put it that way. I'd just be a happier person. Even though we have not seen the Warden as much, you know, Izzy and Javi's dad as much, I still just don't appreciate him either. I think all 3 actors are probably fine. It's just, it's really hard to find a good actor to do cartoony, and it's really hard to write for cartoony. So that's kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. And I don't know, it's just the thing I don't like about it so much. Are you down here?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Oh, you're here?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize it was you. I'm just filming the end of a video. Sorry. Nikki just came in, and I thought it was my mother. Yeah. Yeah, you haven't met Apollo yet.
It's okay. I'm ready.
I'm annoying you by wearing my Broncos shirt today.
That's okay. That's more against them. You ready to go?
Just about. Let me finish this up. And now the rest of this video is going to be incredibly loud. It's a good thing I'm almost done. Where was I? Oh, that's right. So those are the things I really don't necessarily like about the season so far, but I think that it's shaping up to be a pretty solid season. I like the story. I like the writing for the most part. I like all the Ranger characters, so I think that it'll be really good. And that's pretty much it. I guess I gotta go to a football game now. So I will see you guys all next time. If you guys want to see the last Power Rangers video I did, I can click right here and click right here to see what is best on the algorithm according to the YouTube algorithm on my channel. Click here to subscribe to the vlogging channel, here to my main channel. I'll see you guys all next time. I guess I gotta deal with my 2 dogs and my best friend. Bye!